Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this episode, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Star Wars Endor Speeder Chase Diorama set. This is set number 75353. It has 608 pieces and I paid $80 for this set. Now, this is one of the brand new dioramas that are coming out for this year's May the 4th, I believe. I think this is on pre-order and will ship on May 1st, I think, alongside like the Snub Nose Fighter, maybe the Spider Tank, and I'm not sure what else. The other Emperor's Throne Room diorama and the Superstar Destroyer display, I believe. And I'm not sure what else. I am not part of the Lego Ambassadors Network. I paid for this set with my own money, and I don't know why I was able to purchase this before these sets are officially released, but I was, and so I'm very happy to build this and give my review on it, because I was sort of so about these because of their prices, and I wasn't necessarily thrilled about the last diorama that I talked about on my channel, but I'm still going to be taking a look at this and the Emperor's Throne Room. And I was actually in the middle of doing a video for one of the Raiders of the Lost Ark Indiana Jones sets, and I decided to put that one aside so I can get into this, and I will finish my video about the Indiana Jones stuff in the near future. So in this video, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put it together. While I build, I will speed up the video, and then I'll slow it back down to give my thoughts. So, until then, enjoy. Okay, so that is this brand new Lego Star Wars Endor Speeder Chase diorama. This is interesting. I'm not sure where to start. I mean, I think I'll start with the minifigures like I normally do here. But just first, my general thoughts is that this is pretty good. I liked building it a lot. I think it looks great. I really like how it looks. But I'm still not sure about the price. And I will sort of talk about that as we go here. But just my general kind of overview is that, yeah, I mean, pretty cool, pretty good, about what I expected. But there's some really good stuff in here, and I appreciate that, and we'll talk about it. So, as I mentioned, the first thing I'll do is talk about the minifigures. I have them positioned on the speeder bikes right now, and I will take them off to show you a close-up. I'm not going to set them back on. Well, maybe I will. We'll see. But they are on there right now. First one we can take a look at is this. I think it's a snow trooper. I'm not positive, so someone correct me, please. And it's pretty good. We got a really nice detailed print for the torso here. Midsection has printing on it, and it's pretty detailed for that midsection there, which is nice to see. I mean, this set is kind of a premium price set, so it's nice that that's there. And we got printing on the legs. Nothing on the arms here. The back is pretty good as well. A lot of good detail in there. We can see the face, very generic, about what you would expect from either a clone or a trooper or like this. And no alternate face for this one. Now, I do want to talk about the helmet, because the helmet is really good. It's a really good mold. It looks cool. The printing on it is generally pretty good. Like this fine detail on the side, all of these in the back, little indents there. I think that's all really good. I think mine is kind of misprinted here on the face area, kind of on that mouth. To me, that looks like it's off-center. I feel like it should have kind of the same border of black around the full side of that vent or that air, whatever, mouthpiece, this part of the helmet here that's in front of what would be like the mouth and nose. To me, that looks like a poorly positioned print. Now, I haven't seen what it's supposed to look. It could be that all of them are like this. I find that hard to believe. I'm fairly certain that is supposed to be more centered there. I could be wrong, but either way, that's a little bit of a bummer to get one that's kind of a little wonky like that. But that's okay, unless like it's supposed to be depth. I don't know. Something feels weird about that there. Otherwise, a fine, if relatively basic minifigure, but I don't know. There's good stuff in there. Generally speaking, below the helmet, I think is all pretty good. And of course, this trooper does come with a blaster here, and you get some extras of those. Next character we can take a look at is Leia, I believe. And Leia is all right, pretty good. Again, nice printing on the torso. I think in this scene, Leia and Luke are both kind of wearing a poncho, and so that's what this is trying to emulate, and maybe they're covered in mud or wet a little bit. Some of this reminds me of some of the stuff that's in one of the Jurassic Park dioramas, because the kids were muddy and wet in that scene, so they minifigures reflected that, and so I think that's some of it, or maybe it's camouflage or whatever. A little, there is printing on the midsection, we can tell, especially because of that gap between the torso and that holster, or that pocket there on the belt, which again, I wish the print kind of went all the way together there, so that was less noticeable. But yeah, either way, it's there. The belt buckle looks nice. Printing on the legs is fine. No, nothing on the arms. Turning to the back, again, we kind of get this muddy, sort of wet or camouflage. I'm not really sure. And then the indication of a poncho. I really like this helmet piece. I think this is really good. It's got like 3 colors. I don't know if that means it's tri-molded or something. It could be. But I think this helmet is really, really good, and I'm pretty happy with that all around. I believe this is Leia. No hairpiece or anything, just the helmet. We get one face here. We do have an alternate face here. Fine. They don't scream Leia to me. If I didn't know this was Leia, I'm not sure I would guess, but I know this scene that this diorama is from, so I believe that that's all okay. I do wonder if there's not a way to use like Lego cloth to do a poncho or capes or something. I mean, this looks okay, but it also doesn't scream to me the kind of outfits that they were wearing in the movie. And Leia comes with a blaster as well. And then the last minifigure is, of course, Luke. And Luke is pretty good again. We don't necessarily see as much gap between the midsection and the torso for this print, partially because he doesn't have like a holster or many things coming off of it like Leia did, but also I think this printing was just came right, these both on the torso and on the midsection, the printing came right to the edge as much as possible, which maybe wasn't the case as much for the Leia one, if we can kind of compare them. And the printing on the legs is somewhat different than Leia's, which is nice. Again, similar poncho, wet, muddy camouflage maybe. We do get the nice gloved hand here, which is very cool and a nice detail. Back, pretty similar to Leia's. Helmet, I think exactly the same as Leia's. Very good. And as far as Luke goes, we get this expression, fine, and we also get this one. Not a ton of difference. We kind of have maybe a little curl of the lip, a little bit of a something, and this one is a little more curved down. But wow, for having 2 prints, these are shockingly similar to me. Yeah, maybe this one's a little more frowny. This one's a little more smirky, but very little difference for me. So minifigures, I'm sorry, Luke does come with a lightsaber. Lightsaber is perfectly fine, and I like the metallic drum lacquered silver hilt there, and they are making these quite good now, so that's good. Yeah, I mean, minifigures here, they're okay for like the premium price that this set costs, because the price for a piece is just essentially out the window for this set. $80 for 600 pieces, a lot of small pieces, a lot of duplicate pieces. These minifigures are a little disappointing for me. I mean, they are good. I do think mine might have some print issues. And I mean, I would hope that they're not all like that. I would hope that this mask is not all misprinted if or kind of misaligned, if indeed it is, which it feels that way. And yeah, the gap here between the torso and the waist section, I wish that wasn't as noticeable. And I think on the Trooper here and on Luke, I don't notice it as much. So that makes this one stick out a little more than usual to me. So those are fine. I think they could be really, really good. There are things I really, really like about them. I may just have some issues with those ones here. So then what we have left besides the minifigures is this diorama. Now, it's the Endor speeder chase. I kind of tried to show some different angles. The trees get in the way a little bit, but it's a really nice effect. So if I can get this to like the back side here, whoops, that's going to be just a constant problem looking at this guy. The back, we can see these are held up with clear bar elements. Works pretty well, and from the angle you look at it from the front, just the way that they're leaning here, if I can show this, they are leaning in such a way because they're maybe banking on a turn or whatever, that from the front and from the top, those elements get a little lost, and that's good. I think using the clear is great. And I think they're covered up relatively well. The instructions did have another way you could position these speeders, one maybe more up here in the center and one kind of behind it. And I haven't seen what that looks like exactly yet, but there could be options to try kind of adjust what's where. The construction of the speeders is pretty cool. They're not identical, but close. It's just that one has to have an extra passenger on it. So the one in the back has some studs for Luke to be attached to, because I believe Leia is in front for this one. These speeders are built kind of geniusly and also a little finicky. They don't feel like they're coming together in a really like solid way, and for play, I don't think they would be very good. Whoops. And but this set isn't really meant for play. So as far as accuracy and looking good on the display, I think they're pretty great. There's some cool piece usages on the back of the speeders on both of them. This element is like a minifigure cleaver. So you get 4 of those in black on each of the well, there's 2 on each speeder, so you get 4 of them total. I think using these kind of 90-degree clip things into what's kind of like a blaster looking handle there for the handlebars is really, really smart and works well. The foot rests or pedals on here is just kind of like a droid arm with the alternate, let me see, let me pop one of these off. It is a droid arm with an alternate kind of like mismatched, one is going one way, one's going the other way, one hand I mean. So one clips here, that's like this, and then the other one's kind of switched, and then you just put a tile into that, and that's there, and it's a good effect. It's just not a technique that you see always. I mean, you know, in minifigure hands you might see a tile that's got a letter printed on it or whatever else go in a minifigure's hand, and that's normal, but on here it does end up working really well. Same with this element up to these kind of, you know, blaster or pistol type elements. We can get a closer look of the back, the meat cleavers there, very nice. And the detailing here is all pretty good. Same with at the front or underneath these couple bar elements there. The angles are good. And this, the front here is, yeah, it's pretty delicate, and there's a lot of movement, and it might take some adjusting to get everything just right on there so it looks just how you'd like it. But at the end, the effect is really nice. Now, as you notice, there's not places to stud down a minifigure necessarily, but you can sit them in there and connect their minifigure's hands to, let's go like this, just do one of them here. So he's got this trooper has one hand on the handlebar, I suppose, there, and I left the other one off for now. But you can see that that's good enough, and so when it's mounted on the clear element in here, it works pretty well, and the angle's pretty good. So these are a neat little construction. I would like to compare them to some other speeder versions from history. It feels maybe a little bit smaller than some other ones I've seen, but I would have to double check, and maybe I'll look into that afterwards. But yeah, these were interesting. And then besides that, I mean, most of the rest of the build is the base and the trees. And I think the trees are, they're both about what I expected, but also surprising. And I know that's sort of contradictory here, but when I saw them initially, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I like how they look. The trunks were very thick compared to, you know, what all the leaf cover would be in the amount of branches. But now that I've put them together, I kind of don't have that issue anymore. I think the colors are good. I think the way the whole trunks are constructed is actually pretty smart and pretty fun. They're not identical, they're not symmetrical, and they achieve some good stuff, and they're not round 100%, but the way they use jumper plates and tiles and plates and everything here to kind of get that descending kind of look like it might be round is really well achieved. The details around the base of the trunk and how it attaches to the diorama base is quite good, using several of those like exonite shields on the bottom here, and then where like to kind of surround where these root pieces at the bottom cover up, and I think that works really, really nicely. And then the rest of it is just foliage elements. You do get a whole bunch of, I think these are new or relatively new kind of fern elements. I'm always happy to get new kind of plant elements to do different botanicals, and maybe those are a piece that could be used in future botanicals. But you get those, you get the sprigs, you get the tri-leaf, the leaf thing, and then you get a couple of these little pieces as well with 3 leaves. And those go on, and they cover up a lot of the base here. I think they end up looking pretty good. And for the most part, this set is good. I mean, I've only reviewed one other diorama on this channel so far, and that was Yoda's hut, the Dagobah Jedi training or whatever. I've also built the trench run, but I haven't featured that on my channel or made a video about it yet. And when these were announced, I was kind of iffy about them because the price was so high. And I thought the price for the Dagobah Jedi training set was quite high. Now, the Emperor's Throne Room is the same price, I believe, as what the Dagobah Training Center is, and this one is maybe what Dagobah released at, because this set is $80. 3 minifigures. Mine might be messed up. And then some foliage elements, and however many pieces are made up, in the base of the diorama. Base of the diorama, the footprint is, I think, closest to I think it's considerable amount smaller than Emperor's Throne Room or the Trash Compactor or the Dagobah Training. It's the Dagobah Training I think goes out about to here maybe. So this one's smaller. The Trench Run feels like it might be about this size. 608 pieces. I don't know. I don't know if I can recommend it necessarily. I think part of the pricing structure for these and the Super Star Destroyer thing is like the Star Wars is the 40th anniversary. And then it's like an adult-oriented display-focused set. So there's sometimes a kind of a premium for a premium toy, a premium collector item that you might pay here. So that makes sense. I mean, I think this is a really good set. At $60, it might make a ton more sense to me. Now, $60 might even be high, all things considered, piece count and and otherwise. But 3 minifigures, so it's $60 for 608 pieces. Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. At $80 though, that's expensive for what you get here. I think it's great. I think it looks great. I just don't think it's $80 great. I just don't think there's enough here to warrant $80. And I think I paid $90 for Dagobah Training. It has 400 more pieces than this, virtually, or almost 400 more pieces than this. It's 392 or whatever. And I thought that one was really overpriced. Compared to this, that one might make more sense. It's got more to it, more weight. It's got the hut, the little X-Wing. It's got all the backdrop for the hut. It does have 3 figures with Yoda, R2, and Luke. And it's bigger. Just the base is bigger. So maybe that one's not such a bad deal. I still think that's a bad deal. This one might just be a worse deal. I'm kind of, unfortunately, Lego's not going to change really if people like me or other people keep buying these for the prices that they put them at. And I don't really doubt that this will sell well. I think it's likely it will sell well. And that's fine. I just might not be doing more of these. I don't know. I kind of said that after Dagobah Training. And, for both of them, I think they're really, really good models and they're really good dioramas. I'm going to proudly display them. I'm just not very thrilled with the price. Last couple things we will look at here are the printed tiles that are included in here. We do get, well, not the last thing, but almost the last thing. We get a Lego Star Wars print, pretty standard for these diorama pieces. Usually they also have a quote. For this one, we get, "Quick, jam their comlinks, center switch," said by Luke Skywalker. I do wonder if that's the best quote for this scene. It could be. They probably have a lot of people figuring out what to put there, and that is fine. It doesn't strike me as a particularly memorable line from the movie, but I guess I haven't seen it in a long time. And then I was excited about this, and whether or not I want to display this on the thing, and it's kind of silly to be excited about, but this is printed, and I'm glad it's printed instead of a sticker, and we get the 40th Return of the Jedi, and great. I think that's fine, and I'm happy to have it, and whether or not I think it's better on the diorama or off of it, I haven't made up my mind yet. It's attached with just 2 black jumper plates, like 1x2s. And I could fill that in with just a black 1x4 tile, and that would be no problem. It doesn't come with that tile. Well, actually, you know, if you're not going to display this piece on the diorama, then you could pop off the 1x4 off the top of this brick, pop off the jumper plates on here, and then you'd be good to go. So I guess maybe in some ways it does come with that black 1x4 tile there. So that's fine. We'll just take a quick look at the extra pieces here. Nothing too revolutionary. We get an extra blaster, an extra lightsaber hilt, and we get an extra of these clear kind of bar stud at an angle thing here, and an extra of this foliage piece, and then your standard slopes tiles. Not a lot of maybe not any 1x1 plates used in this, except for the flower ones, which I thought I got an extra of that, but I may have. Oh no, it's right there. There we go. So and yeah, gray. Some used on these speeders. Anyway, that is the extra pieces there. Yeah, this set, I loved building it. I'm very happy I got it. I'm happy I got it early in some ways, but also not really. I know that I didn't get to take advantage of any of the like promotional stuff when I purchased this, or when I got I got the Emperor's Throne Room diorama at the same time. I still plan on getting the Super Star Destroyer display on release day, unless for whatever reason I can get it earlier. But I do still plan on getting that. I was going to get this and the Emperor's Throne Room probably anyway, and I would have been disappointed either way a little bit, but I knew what I was buying, and so I can't really fault them for that. And I do love this set. It's just very overpriced, very, very, very overpriced. So that's that. I do like it overpriced. The end. This might have went on too long. If you liked this video, consider giving it a like, and if you like the other videos on my channel, consider subscribing to it so you could stay up to date on all the Lego videos I will be doing in the future, including another video about one of the brand new 40th Return of the Jedi anniversary diorama sets, the Emperor's Throne Room, and I'll might not build that in the video, but I will definitely make a video talking about it. We will see. So until next time, thanks. Bye.